So what is social and emotional learning? Maybe you've heard of it, or you saw somebody post about it on Facebook, or maybe you saw a quote about it on Instagram and you're like, what is this? What does it mean? Awesome, another acronym. Oh geez, here comes another program. Well, I totally get it. I've worked in schools before where I've thought all of those things, and we're gonna answer all of those questions and more, but most importantly, I'm going to teach you a simple way to understand what SEL is, but even more importantly than that, how it can help you to have your best year in a classroom, or how to lead a school, or how to change the culture of your entire building or district. I'm Jeff Becker, and this is Beyond Academics. Okay, a really awesome metaphor that helped me to understand what SEL, or social and emotional learning, is imagine you were a member of a pit crew for a NASCAR team, and your car, it's whipping around and around the track, and then finally it comes in and it stops for a pit stop. Would you just walk up to the driver and be like, drive faster and beat everyone and win the race, go? No, they'd look at you like, thanks for that. You would help them to improve the different parts of their car, wouldn't you? Maybe you would change their tires and give them better tires that you feel like would work better. You would maybe level up something under the hood, or change the brakes, or give them more or better gas, right? Because we know when we fix those parts and when we increase the capabilities or the competency of those parts, the car is going to run better, therefore giving it a better chance to win the race. Well, SEL is kind of the same way. See, the whole philosophy behind SEL, and that's what it is, a philosophy. It's not a program or something you do on Tuesdays or Wednesdays during fourth period. SEL is a philosophy that says if we can level up a human's social and emotional competencies, then they're going to perform better in whatever it is that they do. And think of it this way, we all kind of work that way. Aren't we at our best when we are at our best socially and emotionally? Like when something's wrong with us, something is bothering us, maybe it's a relationship problem, or maybe we just feel like things are going wrong in our life, or we got passed up for a job that we were applying for. Doesn't it kind of bum us out? But even furthermore, it hurts our performance. So SEL is essentially that. If we can boost or bump up these 5 areas, these 5 social and emotional competency areas in any human, whether that's a little kid in elementary school, all the way up to the teachers in your building, the administration in your building, the district personnel at your district, the more we can control ourselves and set healthy goals and understand our strengths and weaknesses and our social and emotional parts and our inner workings, the better we're all going to perform. And I think if you were a teacher, you could also attest to the fact when things aren't going well socially for children and emotionally for children, it is going to wreak havoc in your math class, Miss Salvatore. You're gonna be trying to teach about integers. There are gonna be kids crying on their phone, doing Snapchat dances, or like who knows what. But when we address the social stuff and the emotional stuff, it works so much in your favor so that you can just kind of deliver that content that you want to deliver. And so here are the 5 main areas of social and emotional learning. The first of which is self-awareness. How well do we know ourselves? Do we know what we're great at? Do we know what we're terrible at? Do we know what our temptations are? Do we know what things make us really mad and make us really infuriated? That's self-awareness. Do we know a lot about ourselves, our inner workings, our feelings, why we're feeling different ways? Self-awareness is the first core competency of social and emotional learning. So the second one is self-management. Well, now that we know that, how do we manage ourselves? A great illustration is this. If you know that you could just eat a whole bag of chips in one sitting while you're upgrading papers, maybe you don't want to go down aisle 4 at all at the grocery store because you know that's where the big bag of chips is. That's self-management. You know so much about yourself that you're able to position yourself in a way where you can be successful. The third thing, social awareness. You ever think to yourself, these students have no idea the way the world works, right? Like they come in 20 minutes late to your class with a 65-ounce coffee just waving to everybody while you're trying to teach something about the Civil War. And you're like, why would you think that that's appropriate? The next one is healthy relationship skills. So that's not only like when your 12-year-olds think that they're in love and they're gonna get married forever, but it's also how students get along with teachers, how teachers get along with each other, how students get along with and speak to administration. It's how to respect themselves and respect other people. That's a big one. And then finally, and I know this doesn't really pertain to any of the students in your school, but healthy decision-making skills. That one's pretty self-explanatory. So again, circling back, SEL or social emotional learning is a big lens that you look through. And you're saying to yourself, with what I'm doing in my classroom or in my building or with my teams at the district level, how are we helping students to increase their social and emotional competencies? How are we greeting children at the door? How are we transitioning them in between activities? How are we modeling our behavior in front of students? How are we decorating our classroom? Everything you do, you can just put that SEL lens on it. So SEL isn't something extra for you to do, it's just a paradigm shift. And if you're not a believer yet, there was an amazing study done all across the country and all across the world where it showed that 213,000 students showed up to an 11 percentile point increase at schools that provided social and emotional programming. If an 11 percentile point increase doesn't win you over, I don't know what does. Social and emotional learning is the real deal. I'm a huge proponent for it. It has changed the way that I've taught. It's changed the results in the classroom. And so we'll talk about that here and there on this YouTube channel. But here's what I can tell you if you do use it. Not only will your students be happier, healthier, and higher performing, but I think you'll have a little bit of a better time teaching because once upon a time, I would have to believe that you got into this because you really believed in developing students, not just because you love some academic subject. So give it a try. And so I have some resources for you. You can either go to jeffbecker.org/free. Again, that's jeffbecker.org/free, where we have some free stuff that'll help you to better understand SEL. Or you can click the link below. We have some stuff, some resources that really helped me and my team to really understand social and emotional learning. But again, it's the real deal. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you comment below with your experience with social and emotional learning, any kind of comments or questions that you might have. Don't forget to share these videos, but we really hope this helps. Again, I'm Jeff Becker, and this is Beyond Academics.